Here are the 5 hardest impairments to get approved for Social Security disability benefits. Number 1 is migraines. There is no specific listing requirement for migraines, so it's particularly difficult in that sense. Additionally, if you do not have specific detailed medical documentation of migraines and how that affects your ability to work, it is really, really challenging to get an approval on the basis of migraines. Second is fibromyalgia. There is not a set of objective tests to prove fibromyalgia, so this can be challenging as well. Again, it really, really hinges on whether you have very specific medical documentation that outlines your functional limitations and how the fibromyalgia diagnosis is preventing you from working. Mental health disorders. So this third one, if you are claiming depression, anxiety, PTSD, and you do not have consistent treatment records that demonstrate how these issues are preventing you from working, or if they do not include, your medical records do not include work-related limitations, these can be very, very difficult to get approval for. The fourth one is chronic fatigue syndrome. This is very similar to fibromyalgia in that there is not an objective test that shows that you have chronic fatigue syndrome. So again, if your medical records do not clearly outline why your chronic fatigue syndrome is preventing you from completing work-related tasks or full-time work, then that's going to be really difficult to get approved with Social Security. And finally, POTS. POTS is very hard to get an approval for disability benefits because the symptoms vary widely, and if you're lacking extensive medical documentation that outlines why your POTS symptoms are keeping you from working, it's just very, very hard to get an approval from Social Security. So again, it is not impossible to get an approval. There are people who are getting approval for these conditions. These are just the top 5 most challenging that I see. And hopefully the theme that you're seeing here is that if you do not have consistent medical documentation that specifically outlines how these issues are preventing you from working, that's where it can become very, very difficult to get an approval. If you are struggling or if you have other questions on this, feel free to reach out. I can help talk through what you might need or how you can bolster your medical evidence to increase your chances for approval.